As of this writing, several of the segments are taken down for corrections, and I do want to thank Ed Rezek and all of the astronauts and experts who have corrected me on some items after watching the videos. So it's very nice to know that astronauts and key people in NASA have been watching this series, and I'm taking their feedback, taking those segments offline that need correction, and I will do that. But here's just some of the few pictures I took from Spacefest 8 2017. It was just a really great show this year. Alan Stern was supposed to be there, but he had a death in the family, and so it's completely understandable why we have kicked that can down the road. Hopefully I'll catch him in person next year. I really hope he gets his schedule free to come down here. Really miss Ron Franco as well, and Charlie Duke and I had a really great conversation about just how awesome that guy is. And so here we go, Spacefest 8 2017. Parking's a little bit tight. I have to run up to the front desk and pay him for 2 days of parking. A lot of people are here today.
Just one more day, right, Holly? Oh, one more. How's it going today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
All right.
Now, this is Nicole Stott. STS 128, STS 129, STS 133. And I'm going to pay her $40 today for a signature because she is donating it all to charity. The only person here doing it.
Project.
Exactly. God bless. Good to see you. Hi, how you doing, Lucy?
All right, John.
You want to be on camera? You don't?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Well, you're not in it either? No, I realized at the last second I came running in just as
We'll get over there.
You're going to be photoshopped in?
I'm going to put this camera. Sure, he's going to hold that and film me on my Spacefest.
Spacefest, looking for his ID.
One of these.
Yep, perfect.
Hey, white and blue. God bless America.
God bless America, that's right.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
And this is Mr. Robert Brand, our hero from Australia. I was so sorry to hear his mother had died a year ago, and I'm sure this is pretty tough for him to remember that, but it's great memories, and we all miss our moms.
That's right, but we remember her in our hearts, and time moves on, and you keep her there close, but you don't grieve as much.
Well, good to see you again, Robert, and once again, thanks for that great dinner last night at the Texas Roadhouse. Really enjoyed that. Thanks.
My pleasure.
Hi, Seth. How you doing? She was the first pilot and the first commander and the best of both.
Was there ever another woman who was a pilot, co-pilot, or I know she was?
Yeah, there were other pilots. I don't think there was other commanders. Captain McCandless again. Very nice to see him here once again at Spacefest, and what an awesome guy he is. And he has the best footage of setting the new record, even beating Mercury as being the world's smallest spacecraft. And it will take quite a lot to beat that.
Thank you.
God bless you, sir. Welcome very much back to Tucson, and hope to see you back next year.
Thank you.
You bet. Dr. Rhea, yes, there she is. The awesome doctor. If you ever see her 3 missions, they were just fantastic.
Oh, thanks so much. Thanks so much.
And she revolutionized medicine. And when I had cancer last year, they did this ultrasound on me that it turns out she invented. So that's another great NASA spin-off for you. God bless. Thanks for coming. There's Karen and Mr. Gordon again. Hi there. How are you doing? Great. All right. There's Flight Director, Mr. Griffin. I love that story about Apollo 12 you told yesterday. That was really awesome. It was on YouTube on Amy's channel, AST Vinci Space, and my face was on there too. And my face got more hits since Muhammad Ali last boxed. So thanks very much for that great interview yesterday.
All right, thank you.
Yes, and here's the awesome Hoot Gibson. Gary, can I interview you 5 seconds?
Okay, sure.
Out of all your awesome shuttle flights, which one did you like the best?
The one, I guess, that had the biggest challenge and the biggest degree of difficulty was the mirror docking. With
The mirror
Russians.
docking.
Language barrier, 2 different mission controls.
Also, that was one of the few shuttle flights in that area that took off on the 51.6, right, or somewhere near that, because the mirror wasn't in the 28.5.
We were only the second one to go to 51.6. Yeah.
Isn't that awesome? Well, great to meet you, sir. And welcome to Southwest Airlines, or whatever Signature Air, or whoever you're flying with now. You just have a rule up for flight. And as somebody who flew in the Navy for 4 years, here is Captain Hoot Gibson, the most awesome naval aviator in history. Good to meet you, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Once again, Mr. Charlie Walker. It is. It is. Good to see you again, sir. Thanks very much for coming back. Well, I'm doing really great.
Yes.
That was an awesome interview you did yesterday with Amy.
Thank you.
And I got myself in the frame right before that. And I got more hits.
You bombed it. You went.
I got more hits on my face since Muhammad Ali last boxed. So thanks very much for that. That was a really awesome interview you did.
Pleasure. Always fun.
Okay, good to see you, sir.
Support space.
You got it.
Farther, faster.
I'm not really sure what's going on here, but they're closing this area off for some reason.
They're going to lunch. They all have to go back.
Oh, it's going. Hello, Sholo. Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing really good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay.
One of these days I'm going to catch her. I saw her passing in the hallway yesterday.
I know.
She's so hard. She's just so hard to get.
And she's got to leave now.
I know. Let me shake her hand real quick.
Just sneak in there.
You know me. I'm not normally a sign guy. You know.
That's how that one went. One thing I really must do, or I would really be remiss, is once again thanks to the the Marriott JW Star Pass Resort. I mean, I have the order right, but I got the words all in. These guys have always been so good to me every year, and I'm always so grateful whenever Spacefest decides to come here. They went out to Pasadena for 6, and I'll tell you what, I really missed that one. This one here looks like a really good attendance today, so that's awesome. Oh, how you doing? I'm doing good. Doing good. Gotta get out and enjoy the sun a little bit today. One. Hi, this is John Sullivan from Sullivan's Projects. We're very honored today to have Mr. Rick Sternbach here. Everybody already knows who he is, but I'll just repeat it for you. He had a lot to do with the production work of the redesign of the movies version of the Enterprise. He was also very important in Deep Space Nine, Voyager. He also was the main production guy for that awesome movie Star Trek Nemesis. And he's also he's a very important person in the space industry. He even gives NASA a lot of great ideas on what to do go up there. And as you can see, he's also a very talented artist. And he had this stuff nailed way before the graphics design business became as good as it is. So he's just always been very naturally talented. And just wanted to say hi and thanks very much. We have Alan Bean work here, we have Lucy West work here, but absolutely nothing I've seen like what we're looking at right here. So very nice to meet you, sir. Would you like to say hi to the Spacefest 8 crowd?
Yeah, you bet. I've been a Spacefest follower for years and years. I was not going to miss this one for anything. I love doing space and science fiction. Star Trek was maybe a 15-year detour away from real space. But even in Star Trek, we made sure, in talking with the writers and the producers, to keep the technology at least plausible, even 200 years in the future.
That's really awesome. And once again, welcome to Southern Arizona, my home, and you're always welcome to come back anytime. Very glad to meet you at last.
Thanks a lot. Thanks
All right.
a lot.
Yeah, goodbye. Thanks, sir. Okay, this is Captain Paul Weitz, the United States Navy, and we do certainly appreciate him coming here, enjoying wonderful Southern Arizona. If you don't remember, which I'm sure you do, back in the 70s, he was having a lot of fun up there in Skylab 2, running around the track of a third stage Saturn V. Later on, went on to STS-6. And so he's one of the very few people, add that to Vance Brand, who has flown both the shuttle program and the Apollo program. And I just wanted to know if you had any opinions on the differences between the two, or the similarities, or what you thought as being one of the very few people to fly both.
No, well, Skylab was obviously basically a habitat checkout, primarily interested in the effects of prolonged periods of weightlessness on the human body. Where in the shuttle flight, we went up to do a job. It was the first flight of the shuttle Challenger. We did some engineering tests and evaluations, and also did the first spacewalk, EVA, using the new design shuttle pressure suits, which Story Musgrave and Don Peterson did.
And we do love Story.
Well, yeah, everybody does, one way or the other. Okay.
Well, thank you very much for that. When you went to Skylab 2, you found you had to do some repairs almost immediately because of a heating issue or electricity issue, correct?
Well, that's right, yes. We had to free the stuck solar wing eventually, which wasn't successfully accomplished on launch day. But we managed to get in, make it habitable, and get on with the total repairs, final repairs later on halfway through the mission.
Well, for everybody who doesn't know, Challenger was actually a very different bird than Columbia, much lighter, improved materials, and a much different design, so that it really was a prototype on that flight. And I just wanted to thank you once again for your awesome service in giving us the pioneer for what later became the Mir Space Station, International Space Station, and all the rest. Thank you very much for all you did, sir.
Well, you're welcome. You're most welcome.
Have a great day. Appreciate it. So this is Commander Vance Brand. He was a member of Apollo-Soyuz, which came in very handy one time on a shuttle flight with Secretary Baker and the Soviet Prime Minister wanted to have a conversation about the future of the space program with cooperation between the Soviet Union, later Russia, and the United States. And so he was also heavily involved in that even after his last shuttle flight. His first flight was an Apollo-Soyuz aboard a 1B, and they had a mating mechanism instead of a limb, and they used that to connect with a Soviet spacecraft. First time that had ever been done in history to unite two countries in space like that. And that must have been a very interesting mission. Later on, two shuttle flights went out as the commander in the blue suits and one in the orange suits. And so he has a lot of experience with NASA and a unique perspective in flying both the shuttle and the Apollo program. And I was curious if he could give us some of his recollections of flying the 1B versus the shuttle.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I have to think back about 42 years, but that should be easy to do. Both the Saturn 1B and the space shuttle are gone now, but they were magnificent spacecraft. In comparing the two, if you compare ascent going into orbit, they were very similar. There were differences which I'll touch on in a minute. On orbit, of course, well, we'll skip that for now. But as far as entry is concerned, that's where the big differences were between the Apollo and the shuttle system. When you went into orbit with the Saturn 1B, it would pull more G's going up. It would force you further into the couch and or than into the seat. In the case of the space shuttle. But there were many similarities. Both craft took about 8 to 10 minutes to put a vehicle into orbit. The Apollo system, the Saturn 1B, had staging between 2 minutes and 2.5 minutes. And coincidentally, so did the shuttle. So in those ways, they were different. Believe it or not, both had a lot of shake, rattle, and roll.
Oh, is that right?
On the first stage. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. There was a lot of noise. And, well, it's pretty impressive. My first flight was on the S-1B, of course, and it was a thrilling experience to go into orbit on it. Of course, after staging, after the first stage fell off on both vehicles, it got much more quiet.
Well, I imagine that the second stage of the 1B had a lot of punch when that thing ignited, right? The second stage had a lot of delta V or a lot of punch.
Well, you were aware of the separation, and then, the second stage engine lit up. And I would agree with you that the S-1B second stage had more punch because it wasn't G-limited.
Right.
There was some limit out there, but it was higher than the limit for the space shuttle. The space shuttle was limited to 3 Gs.
Right.
And so, actually, as you were going into orbit, the space shuttle was throttling back a little bit so that it would not exceed the 3 Gs. Whereas with the Apollo, the Saturn 1B, with no such limit, it would keep pressing you harder into the couch. When you got into orbit, both were similar in that the engines cut off, and whereas you had been pressed firmly back into the couch or the seat, suddenly you were floating in the scratch.
Well, it's just an amazing history you had, Mr. Branson. I really do appreciate you coming out here from California, and I really appreciate all the time you've done with NASA and with Dryden especially. They call it Armstrong now, but NASA Dryden. And every time I get out there and talk to Marianne Harness or Jay Levine or Fred Brown, you're the talk of the town. So you've done everything from night landings to splashdowns to dusty lake bed landings to runway landings, and so you've done it all. We really want to appreciate you very much on behalf of the American people and taxpayers, and job well done, sir. We really appreciate your time. It's very generous of you to stop by and say hi to us. Well, welcome back once again to Spacefest 8, special edition, and we really do appreciate the generous time that Rick Sternbach, Vance Brand, Captain whites, a lot of different people to add to that list. Took today for an interview. Who Gibson, you name it. It was a really great day today for interviews. Really want to say once again, thank you very much for such an awesome Space Fest 8, and we will continue to see how it goes for the rest of the weekend. God bless.
Leonard, David.
Yeah. He missed a year, but he's back. So very nice to have him back from space.com, davidleonard.com, and a lot of other great sites. He knows more about the Chinese and Soviet space programs as well as ours than anybody else on the face of the planet. So very glad to have him back this year.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
As a seamstress, right?
Somebody told me yesterday this was actually in space.
This was the most difficult thing for them to do. It was really difficult. So we did into like a hexagon, and then they had to lay it out on the pattern until it was.
I had to recharge the batteries. I gotta get my one shot in here, General, before they kick me out.
Every once in a while, we'll leave each other and stuff like that.
Well, now wait a minute. If you go that way, they'll sneak in that door.
Well, that's why we
Doors.
position ourselves right in the middle.
Oh, all right.
He didn't disappear. He just went to the backside for a while.
Whatever. Take care. Thanks.
Always nice to have Florida people here to represent. Well, here's where all the astronauts are going to be in just a couple hours. Not even that. They're going to come out here and all get together. So, sadly enough, Scott Carpenter, Gene Cernan, Ed Mitchell, we've lost some good ones from being here. Hopefully, we will not lose any more. But this is the setup. checking in with us for Spacefest 8. Got a lot of great interviews today. We got Alan Stern, the guy who did a whole lot of, not Alan Stern. Unfortunately, I don't think he made it today. He had a death in the family. Alan Sternbach. Let's try that once again. Rick Sternbach. He had a lot of work involvement with NASA designs as well as Star Trek. The whole new Enterprise in the movie version with the Shatner version was all his work. Designed the bridge and that kind of thing. Rick also did a lot of work with Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and Star Trek Nemesis. So it was really good to meet him and interview him. Very grateful for the time he took today. Also, Paul Weitz, Captain United States Navy. Hoot Gibson, Captain United States Navy. Had a lot of good interviews today. Vance Brand out of Dryden. That one ran kind of long. I wish I'd had time to talk about the Navy P-3 that he was the test pilot for, because that one sure brought me home safely many, many times from dangerous missions. So the Lockheed P-3 is very similar to the shuttle, but it was very interesting to hear him talk about the things that I didn't know about flying the S-1B, and he's one of the two people left that flew both the shuttle and the Apollo program, so it was really interesting to hear the take of both of these gentlemen. So once again, thank you all for taking the time to interview today. I'm going to have the interviews posted as soon as I get home, which may either be tonight or tomorrow, but we don't know yet. Depends on how I feel, but all in all, my strength's doing pretty well. Just really enjoying the day. Was able to get parking up here. My car is right there. So anyways, God bless. We will catch you guys later. That's about going to do it for Spacefest. For me, at least today. I'm going to try to get back in here tomorrow. It just depends on... I'm going to go see my brother this afternoon. Haven't seen him in a while. And after that, who knows? Beautiful little place, though, I'll tell you. These guys really pull through every year. They have it here. And there's all the astronauts are heading out to get photographied. You see them all getting all lined up out there. And Nicole's got her space friend out there now. Thanks very much for that, Christine. Let me just introduce everybody that I can tell from my memory. Captain Bruce McCandless, the famous single-suit free space drift spacewalker, is bottom left, behind that lady. She'll move. There's a flight director next to him. Third over from the left is Colonel Bowe. Fourth from the left is Charlie Duke, the guy who prayed over me last year. Really great guy. I learned this year he's an Air Force general. So he's really nice talking to him. Our Facebook friend, Ron Franco, was his guide last year, but this year he couldn't make it due to a reunion. Next to him is Apollo 12 moonwalker, Richard Gordon. Next to him is Jack Lausma, Skylab 3, and not only Skylab 3, but he was also commander on STS-3, the one that landed in White Sands, New Mexico. Drawing a blank on the next one. The one in the blue shirt, fifth from the left, is Vance Brand. He was both Apollo Soyuz and commander of 3 shuttle missions. Had a really good interview with him today. Next to him is Walter Cunningham, Apollo 7, the first manned trip into space on an Apollo capsule following the disaster on the ground with Apollo 1. Next to him is Fred Hayes, the famous guy who popped up a 747 in a shuttle back in 77, I think. Before then, you may have heard of Apollo 13. And he is the one that said, "Houston, we've had a problem." And that would be third from the right. The actor who played him this year died with a lot better bank account than he has, but he's doing okay. Second to the right is Pete Conrad. Pete Conrad, well, they're all leaving now, is the command pilot on Apollo 11. I'm going to do my best to get back here tomorrow, Mr. Brand, but if not, it's been a real pleasure again.
It's been a real pleasure too, and that was a great dinner we had the other night. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
That was an excellent talk you gave today. I was really impressed. I learned so much. Have you ever seen golf tees they use, for golf balls with the tee?
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of that, and I think that might be your best design.
Maybe. I'll give you credit if we go that way.
Well, like I said, I hope I catch you again, but before you leave, give me a call if we don't catch up.
Yeah, I might be here for a day or two.
Okay, well, I'll try
There's got to be at least another dinner there somewhere.
That sounds like a plan. All right. All right.
Yeah.
You guys did fantastic this year.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. This is Leonard Davids, Space.com. Come back next year, please.
Please, I'll be back.
All right, great. In case I don't make it back tomorrow, you guys can do That was Sally Poor, my friend who coordinated this event. Here's my Well, Nicole, have a safe flight back where you're going. So, I'm going to try to catch my brother before I go back. Hopefully, at least drop by and say hi. After that, I'm going to go home, do some more projects, and start to edit my wonderful 2 days down here in really hot Pima County. I had no idea this place is so hot. I did, but I had forgotten. I hadn't been down here since March, and it's now June 10th. So, yeah. So anyways, this is Sullivan's Projects, signing off.